Welcome to your online source for calculator tutorials. In this tutorial, we will learn how to calculate regression equations for a set of data. Over the course of the semester, we will use this topic repeatedly to help us develop models which fit a particular data set. Whenever you are asked to find a regression equation, the first thing you should do is start by entering your data set in a very particular form. I will demonstrate that form now in text so we can refer to it later. Go ahead and enter your data as always an X list in brackets followed by a Y list in brackets, and then both of those together in brackets. Our data should always be entered this way. Alright, we want to try this out, so we're going to start by entering our own set of data. And remember to use the brackets, so we're going to enter a bracket, then another one for the X list. And let's make our X list very simple here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, arrow out of that. Then we want to follow this up with another list. This will contain the Y coordinates. So this list I've mixed it up a little bit here. 8 and 5, 9, 12, and 13. Now remember, we need these to match up. There's 5 data points here. There need to be 5 data points here. Just to make sure we understand what's going on, let me go ahead and show you what this represents. The fact that there's an X list here and a Y list here means 1 occurring in the first position here. 8 occurring in the first position here means the coordinate 1, 8 is one of our data points. Obviously the next data point would be 2, 5. And then the next data point would be 3, 9, followed by 4, 12, and finally 5, 13. So when we write the data in this form, we're actually representing 5 coordinate points. Don't forget that. Alright, now that we have our data entered here on entry number 2, what we'd like to do with this data is actually use it to create... Go ahead and place your cursor on the data entry. Use it to create a regression equation. Alright, in order to do this, you need to, this is actually a new way of doing stuff for us. You need to go into the entry, find the stat button on the left, and then select the regression button in the middle. Alright, let me go ahead and minimize the button pad so we can see this a little bit better. We took our data set, we did all of that. All it will do right now upon hitting regression is to open up the regression interface and perform a scatter plot. So if you need to perform a scatter plot for anything, this is an easy way to do that. Alright, upon looking at it a little bit more closely, if you scroll down, you'll see a collapsible list that says select regression. Here's where we need to select our regression type. There's a lot of different types to choose from. We could even create a custom regression if we wanted to. But for our purposes, most of what we're going to do is linear. So go ahead and select the linear option. When you select the linear option, the first thing that you'll notice is added to the scatter plot we already had is a linear equation. This is the line of best fit that we just now have calculated. You still have all the window settings. You can change the colors. Here are the points on top. These are the styles for the color. I don't want a blue line and blue points, so let me change the color, say, to green. And I'm going to beef up the thickness of the line a little bit as well. Remember, you can also double tap the plot to enter it. This shows a very good view of our regression line as well as the data points that we've entered. Double tap it again to return to the home screen. And if you scroll down a little bit further, upon choosing linear as our type of regression, it's added 4 new fields. The first being to show us that our linear equation is of the form ax plus b. Then it tells us our slope A is 1.7 and our y-intercept B is 4.3. It even gives us the correlation coefficient R being 0.83753. That lets us know that there's a strong positive correlation. All right, from the collapsible list, we can select any other regression equation that we want. So suppose we didn't like the linear regression, we want to try quadratic regression. Simply select quadratic, and if you go back up and look at the plot, it's now changed. The points haven't changed because our data hasn't changed, but the regression equation drawn in is now a parabola or a quadratic equation. If you look in, we can see how well it fits. Scrolling back down, you see the different parameters involved. This concludes the calculating regression tutorial. Feel free to replay this tutorial or browse any of the other available topics on the course webpage.